Welcome to today's daily analysis of golds and a few other major pairs that I will be personally trading. All right, so let's start off with on the news front. So on the news front, we can see that we don't have any major red folder or even orange folder news, but we do have a few USD news, factory orders, month on month, and a few members of the FOMC are talking today. But I don't think we're gonna see a huge movement for these news, but we can expect a good move. Now here we can see, now coming on to the technical analysis on the 4 hours, I am seeing two points of interest that I could target buys and sells for gold. The gold right now, we are ranging. We're not exactly breaking out, we're not exactly breaking down. So I'm just gonna target wherever liquidity is there, right? So now I've drawn out a 4 hours 2 order blocks. Now moving on to the 15. So the reason I do this order block was the sole reason that all this liquidity is yet to be grabbed, like the whole previous day. You can see the previous day's high is resting right up here, and this entire liquidity and the previous day high. So it just looks a very good point of interest. So I'm waiting for gold. I'm waiting for gold to do some reaction, come up till here, make a change of character, come back somewhere onto the retest, and then I will be going for long. And once I go long, I am looking for some sells from all the way up here, right? You can see the failed order block, and this has acted as a support and it has failed. So my logic for this order block right here is that price has grabbed all this liquidity, so now price has to move a little bit back down. So that is what I will be planning today for gold. Now coming on to EURUSD, we are on the up on the month. Weekly, we are on the up. Month, weekly, we are on the up. Daily, we can say we're on the up because as you can see, we have just broken out of the trend line, right? We have just broken out of the bearish trend line. So I have 2 points of interest where price could eventually react off of, right? So I have one which is the breakout region itself, but I have another one. If this breakout region fails and price slowly starts consolidating, I have another order block which is at this zone right here, right? It has been mitigated before, but it is very much still valid because the 50% of the order block is still up for grabs, right? So now let's see this movement. We have got a 15-minute movement on EURUSD. So what I can see is we have up down, up down, up down, up down, up down, right? So this is the last swing that was made. So this is the high we have to wait for price to grab. And now once price grabs this high, I will be targeting for some. We are seeing a good movement towards the end of Asia session, right? We're seeing a good movement towards the end of Asia session. So in that case, there are 2 points of interest we could be targeting from. One is this, but it's been mitigated. And the most logical one would be to go for this one right here. Put the stops below Asia's low. Go for a 1:3 for previous day's high, or even up until this fair value gap, which is a 1:3, right? So this would be the setup that I would be targeting once we see price come off this region. Or one more thing we can do is we can wait for price to take this out, draw another order block from this region, wait for price to tap into this region, and wait for a 1 minute change of character and a break of structure, and then we enter on the retest. So this is another plan that you could try, right? This is another plan that you could try. Now so GBPUSD is the little bit of the confusing one for me, right? So see, overall we can see we're on the down, but we are ranging on the highs area. Like you can see this price action area, so we are ranging in that area on the monthly, and on the weekly we seem to be up, right? We seem to be up, but the recent weeks we're down. So again, very confusing. On the daily we seem to be up because we've got a few candles and then we're like ranging, we're like going up. So coming on to the 4 hours, right? So 4 hours, everything seems to be mitigated. Like even these points of interest, you can see this seems to be mitigated, this seems to be mitigated, everything seems to be mitigated, right? The area. So I have 2 points of interest that I will be seeing, right? Because we still have previous day's high, we have the day before's high, and we have weekly high, and price is just sitting exactly in the center. So we don't exactly know what side price is gonna go, but from this 1 hour structure, right? From this structure right here, I can say that price has probably put in a change of character, and now we're looking to put in a break of structure, another break of structure for the upside. Okay, so in that case, this is the only valid order block, and you can see the amount of manipulations price has done off of this order block right here, right? It's still valid because the 50% of the order block is still there. So we'll wait for price to tap into this region, and we'll see, we will wait. And I've also drawn out a 15-minute structure, right? So the 15-minute structure, it just simply goes for the fact that you can see all this inducement, right? So that means there is some price action going on in this region right here, and we have previous days highs as, you know, the target. So but for this block I would be using a 5-minute change of character break structure, and then we'll be entering again. Now coming into USDJPY, USDJPY is a pretty easy news, alright, pretty easy analysis. We're on the buy, so let's just focus purely on buy. We're not gonna go try to focus on sell. So this order block has beautiful inducement, but I'm not quite sure if we can see price coming on to this order block today. But we have beautiful inducement around this order block, so we'll wait for price to come back. But we have another one on the 1 hour, right? 1 hour, we have this order block, we have a fair value gap, we have another order block sitting right here, and it's resting right below previous day's low. But this could be possible because price has just taken up previous day's high, and it's coming down and down, right? So this could be a good point of interest to go for buys. Struggling to draw a path. Now coming on to USD Chef. USD Chef hasn't been very kind to me, alright? I've gotten a lot of SLs the week before and everywhere, but Anyways, now seeing the structure, there's this very easy to notice 4 hours block for the buy side, but become immediate, right? All this liquidity is being built up. You can see all this liquidity is being built up. So what I'm expecting price to do is, I'm expecting price to keep doing this, come back up into this zone, and then come all the way back into this zone, right? Come back all the way into this zone. So I would be trying to capture this, and I'll be trying to capture this. So this is my analysis for USD shift. All right, and that is it. Actually, that is it pretty much, and it's a pretty easy analysis for today, but we'll have to wait and see what the actual moves are going to come. All right, and if you do like this sort of a content, do like the button, do share, and do comment on the page. I do read every single one of y'all's comments. All right, and that is it, and I'll catch you in the next